As I sit here reflecting on my life, I realize that there are three brutal truths that I've come to realize. These truths have tested me, challenged me, and forced me to confront some of the most difficult aspects of being human. However, in facing these truths head on, I've also learned some of life's most valuable lessons. I want to share with you what I've learned, whether you're just starting out on your journey or if you're already well into it. I believe that these three brutal truths can help you in your own quest for happiness and fulfillment. They are not easy truths to face, but they're necessary if we want to live our lives to the fullest. Death is inevitable. No matter who you are or what you do, you will eventually die. This can be a difficult truth to accept, but it's an unavoidable aspect of life. Knowing this can help you appreciate the time you have and make the most of every moment. There was a farmer who lived in a small village. He was known for his beautiful garden, which he tended to every day. He would wake up early in the morning and spend hours planting, watering, and nurturing his plants. One day, a young boy from the village came to the farmer and asked him, "How do you manage to grow such beautiful plants?" The farmer smiled and replied, "It's simple. I plant the seed, water it, and give it the care it needs, and then I wait for it to grow." The young boy was amazed by the farmer's simple answer and asked, "What happens when the plant dies?" The farmer looked at the boy and said, "When the plant dies, I accept it and move on. I plant a new seed and start again." This story of the farmer and the seed teaches us that life is like a garden. We plant the seeds of our dreams and work hard to make them grow. However, just like the farmer's plants, our lives are also temporary. Just as the plants will eventually wither and die, eventually we will too. The lesson here is that we should enjoy our lives while we can, making the most of each day and appreciate the people and experiences that we have. We should accept that death is a natural part of life and we shouldn't be afraid of it. By doing so, we can live a more meaningful and fulfilling life. The second brutal truth is that hard work doesn't always lead to success. You can work hard and do everything right, but still never achieve the success you desire. Life is unpredictable, and factors beyond your control can sometimes impact your outcomes. However, hard work can increase the likelihood of success and help you build resilience and persistence. This can be a tough pill to swallow, but it's an important lesson that we all need to learn at some point in our lives. There were two brothers who grew up in a small village. They were both hardworking and ambitious, but their paths in life were very different. The older brother was a farmer, while the younger one was a musician. The farmer worked tirelessly on his land. He would wake up early every morning and tend to his crops. He put in long hours and worked through rain or shine, determined to make his farm a success. Meanwhile, the musician spent his days practicing his craft, honing his skills, and visualizing one day to becoming a well-known musician. Years went by and the brother's hard work began to pay off. The farmer's crops were flourishing, and he was able to sell his produce at a great price at farmers markets across the county. The musician, on the other hand, had developed a reputation as a talented musician, and he was starting to get gigs at different events around the state. But one day, disaster struck. A brutal storm destroyed the farmer's crops, leaving him with nothing to sell. While driving to an out-of-state show, the musician was in an accident and suffered an injury to his hand, rendering him unable to play his instrument. The two brothers were devastated by their misfortunes, but they handled them in very different ways. The farmer was hopeless, feeling that all of his hard work had been for nothing. The musician, however, refused to give up. He used his injury as an opportunity to learn new ways to play and explore different genres of music. Eventually, the musician found success in a new type of music and became famous with his story of overcoming adversity. The farmer, on the other hand, struggled to recover from the loss of his crops and eventually chose to sell his farm. This story teaches us that hard work doesn't always lead to success. Sometimes, despite our best efforts, things don't go according to plan. However, how we handle these setbacks can make all the difference. The musician refused to give up and found success in a new way, while the farmer was unable to adapt and suffered the consequences. Remember that hard work is important, but it's not the only factor that determines success. We must also be adaptable, resilient, and open to new opportunities. The final brutal truth in life is that you are responsible for your own happiness. No one else can make you happy. While other people can contribute to your happiness, ultimately, you are responsible for your own well-being. This means taking care of yourself physically, mentally, and emotionally, and making choices that align with your values and goals. This truth is a hard one to swallow because it puts the power and responsibility for our emotional state squarely in our own hands. No more blaming situations or circumstances for where you are in life. No being a victim of your past. It's on you. There was a man who came across a genie in a bottle. The genie was willing to grant him 3 wishes, but with a catch. Each wish would only last for a limited time. The man was overjoyed and immediately made his first wish, asking for wealth and riches beyond his wildest dreams. For a time, the man was thrilled with his newfound wealth. He had everything he could ever want. A big house, fancy cars, expensive clothes. But after a while, he began to realize that his material possessions weren't bringing him the happiness he hoped for. So, he made his second wish, asking the genie for true love and companionship. The genie granted his wish, and the man fell deeply in love with a wonderful woman. For a while, he was happy and content, but eventually he found that his relationship wasn't enough to bring him lasting happiness. Finally, the man made his third wish, asking the genie to make him happy forever. The genie paused, and then reminded the man that happiness was something he had to find within himself. No matter how many wishes he made or the size of his material possessions, true happiness could only come from within. The man chose to free the genie using his last wish. A short time later, he lost his house and cars in a fire. The stock market tanked, and the woman he met had actually been separated from her husband and chose to rekindle her old relationship. The man realized the truth in the genie's words and set out to find happiness on his own. He began to focus on things that truly mattered to him: his relationships, passions, and personal growth. And in time, he found a deep and lasting happiness that no material possessions or external circumstances could ever provide. This story teaches us that we are responsible for our own happiness. No amount of external success, wealth, or relationships can make us truly happy if we don't cultivate happiness from within. It's up to us to seek out the things that bring us joy and fulfillment, and to take responsibility for our own emotional well-being. These brutal truths about life can be difficult to accept, but they're essential to our growth and happiness. Through my own experiences, I've learned that life is unpredictable and sometimes unfair, and that hard work doesn't always lead to success. I've also realized that we are responsible for our own happiness. I've had to confront some of my deepest insecurities, but in doing so, I've also found a great sense of resilience, self-awareness, and purpose. By accepting these truths, we can begin to let go of our expectations and focus on what truly matters in life. We can learn to appreciate the journey, even when the destination seems uncertain. And we can find joy in the process of growth and self-discovery. And when we take responsibility for our own happiness, we can find a deeper sense of fulfillment that goes beyond external circumstances or achievements. Share this video with someone you know who could use the inspiration, and if you're looking for ways to work on your focus, you should also check this video out.